So I've been hearing a lot of people talk about Google AI Mode's query fan out technique. And earlier today, I was reading through Aleda's blog post on the topic. So query fan out basically takes a single query, like, could you suggest Bluetooth headphones with a comfortable over-ear design and long-lasting battery? One of these long types of queries that people are starting to type into Google or ChatGPT or wherever. And then it breaks it out into a bunch of subqueries based on different facets, considering different search intents, different things people might be looking for, and then sort of synthesizes those to generate the results. And so this basically means, like, we kind of need to create deeper content and more comprehensive content in order to match more of these queries. And so I've been wanting to take a look at what it would look like to simulate this technique and do some basic analysis inside of MetaMonster. So what I did earlier today is I worked with Claude to create a new prompt template called Query Fanout. I'm using Gemini 2.5 Flash here because I figured it would probably be good to use Gemini since we're kind of modeling a Google behavior, although I'm pretty sure ChatGPT and all the others are doing this too. And so here we give the AI two tasks. First, generate 10 to 15 related subqueries across different search intents and facets. And then we store those in JSON to make it easier to look at them within our table. And then we also ask it to do some coverage analysis for each one to give us a sense of whether or not our existing content does a decent job of covering that subquery. So I'll go ahead and click run here. It'll take a second to run. We're generating a plan to execute this query, going back and forth between an LLM and our agent infrastructure. And then, have to fetch the content and do the analysis. So, as you're doing this, you might want to kick this off and then walk away, go grab a cup of coffee, sip some tea, whatever, read another one of Aleda's blog posts. But then we'll see it start to come in here. I'll let it go long enough that we have at least a couple of these to look at. And so what it's doing here is it's storing all of the JSON in this individual cell, and then we can open that up and see each subquery that it created and the associated information. And it won't look too technical. It won't look like JSON code. We'll be able to see it in a nicely formatted window here. So I'll let it generate just a couple of these before I stop it, so we can look at a couple of them. In my testing earlier, I did find that it was, I think, a little generous about what counts as coverage. So there might be some prompt engineering to tune there in order to get it to be a little bit more aggressive or a little bit more critical. Let's see if we can get it to do at least one more so that we have 3 to look at. Of course, it'll do every page on our site if we just give it a little bit of time. I also was, I believe, feeding it a primary keyword to help. I didn't do that this time, so we'll see how that impacts it. I am also feeding it the page content, though, so that it has some sense of what people might be searching for when this page comes up. All right, so open this up. Okay, so we've got a bunch of subqueries, AI tools for scaling SEO, limitations of ChatGPT. Cool. It does look like it left off some of the detail. This is what working, there we go. That's more what we were looking for, the facet, the search intent, and the subquery. Funny thing about working with AI, it's still a little unpredictable, so sometimes you have to rerun things. Pretty easy to do that. If we wanted to, we could rerun this individual cell or rerun the full enrichment. But there we go. We've got subqueries generated, just a bunch of them for us so that we can kind of look through these and think about them. And then we've also got our coverage analysis. This is a little janky. We'll work on the formatting here over time. All right, subquery, AI tools for scaling SEO, true, covered. And then it gives us some notes. And what's really interesting is, you know, sometimes it'll say like, it doesn't do a great job, but it like does well enough, which is funny to me. Okay, here, cool, we got a false. MetaMonster pricing plans. The FAQ mentions plans started. That's funny. Yeah. Apparently it didn't think that we were... okay, so here it is being a little critical. A complete breakdown of plans is not available on the page. Fair. It's not, but it does... we do at least mention it. Come on. So there's that one. Let's take a look at another one. This is for our About page. The subqueries: who founded MetaMonster, MetaMonster company values, who is MetaMonster for, AI philosophy. Okay, cool. Pretty good. And then we'll jump in here. True. Do we have any falses here? Here we go. MetaMonster reviews. Yep, that's true. We don't have any reviews on our About page. While the page mentions wanting users to rave about the product, it does not contain any actual customer reviews. Damn, Gemini, just tell us how it is. Look, we're working on it, okay? Page states you get direct access to the founders, but does not provide explicit contact information. That is true. I don't know if I want to provide that. I have gotten enough spam in my lifetime. So yeah, there you go. I was able to quickly build a query with Claude, and then put it into our optimization flow, and can start to do some query fanout analysis for all of my site content. I could also filter this down if I just wanted to do, say, if I just wanted to do the blog, I could just run this on blog pages if those were the only ones I cared about. Easy peasy. So yeah, hope that's helpful. Thanks to Aleda for a great blog post, and I'll keep doing more of these.